Jaguar just dropped a bomb on Diddy. She's brought out court filings tied to a new lawsuit he's desperately trying to hide. According to her, the evidence makes Diddy fully responsible for what he's done, and she's making it clear she's not letting him slip away from accountability ever again.
That's the thing, this trial, the sentencing, the verdict, all the hyperbole, all of the pomp and circumstance, all of the this, all of that, it means nothing. It means nothing. This was all done for the public's entertainment. This was all done to get people like me to be quiet. This was all done to give weirdos like Vladimir Lyuski and Torre the ability to constantly challenge and try to check my veracity, my actuality, my truth, and to get the public to not believe whistleblowers like me. That's why this was done. This ain't even about Diddy. It's about the rest of them. Do you know they're still having white parties?
Jaguar says that Diddy's 4-year sentence doesn't come close to reflecting the damage he's caused. And Diddy knows it too. She believes Cassie never received the justice she fought for. After more than 20 years of repeated abuse, Diddy walks off with a light 4-year stay at a low-security camp. How does that add up? Cassie put everything on the line, and the system didn't protect her.
He's getting sentenced to 4 years. Does Cassie get justice in all this? Does that look like...
Still not enough. Still not enough. And it's wild because she's getting such a better deal than dear Lee Cordell Smith is.
30 million and your perpetrator gets 50 months? I mean...
Still not enough.
Jeez.
Her life is never gonna be the same. And people are gonna find ways to make her life complicated, to force her to have to spend that 30 million every way they possibly can. You know, there is no up. There is no win. Haven't I been saying that?
Jaguar calls the entire trial a complete circus. She says the government had mountains of evidence but barely used any of it. Even Diddy acted like it was all a joke. Right before sentencing, his attorneys even bragged that he was booked for a speaking gig in Miami. Now Jaguar is revealing that he wasn't speaking at some corporate event. He was scheduled to talk to children at a school. Yes, a registered offender was about to stand in front of kids to teach them about being better. You can't make this stuff up.
There's a woman, what is it called? Sprout to Success or something like that. Some kind of charter school, independent private school in Miami Gardens, which is right there in the area of South Florida where he's been warden for Satan of. Because he ain't nothing but a shepherd for the devil. But she was going to invite him to come to the school to speak to her students there, K through 12. Yeah. You want to know what I find really interesting? All of these people that wanted to bring him to schools and bring him this and bring him that. How the hell are they going to do that when he's on the SEX offenders registry list? He's not allowed to be around kids.
That does make moving a little hard.
He's not allowed to be around schools. He's on the registry. Didn't I already do a tutorial about the registry? Like, I don't know. He is a registered SEX offender, and people want to bring him to school.
Jaguar insists Diddy has finally run out of places to hide. There are now more than 100 civil suits tied to him, and she believes the behavior described in those filings will eventually put him away for good. Karma is creeping up fast, and once those civil cases start moving, she says Diddy won't be able to talk or pay his way out.
They say with points and time served and any type of... He might be out by Christmas next year.
People say a lot of things. You know what else they said? They said he was going to get bail. How did that work? You know what else they said at the end of that trial, even after he was found guilty of the Mann Act, they was putting together a 4th of July party. How did that work? People say a lot of things, don't they? I guess they don't hear God say no. I don't know what's going to happen to him. I'm not even trying to guess. What I am praying for, though, is that real victims and real survivors actually get the attention that they deserve, that they get the justice.
Jaguar says Diddy's money can only delay the inevitable. Physical evidence ties him directly to these accusations. In the same way Cassie's lawsuit sparked a criminal review, these civil cases could do the exact same thing. That's why he paid Cassie off barely 24 hours after she filed. But this time, he's staring down nearly 100 lawsuits. Even billionaires can't buy their way out of everything.
That the other 100 civil cases will not just be left at civil cases and will actually be turned to criminal cases, because they should be, because I got a big issue with everyone thinking that money is the end all be all into stopping a predator from operating. It is not.
Amen.
It is not. Why do so many of these cases stay civil? Why aren't they turned criminal when there's criminal acts all through the pages?
Can you file a criminal charge and still get money off of a camera? Can you sue later, or is it strictly victims looking for money?
Simpson's family, OJ was acquitted and they was able to take him to civil court and get him for bread. It really doesn't matter which way you do it.
That is true.
It can go either way. A civil proceeding and a criminal proceeding is just two different proceedings. But if you have criminal acts in a civil proceeding, just because someone gets paid or it gets settled and people get paid out, it doesn't mean that those acts shouldn't be tried criminally.
Jaguar is furious that the federal agents who raided Diddy's home collected computers, drugs, guns, and even bottles of baby oil. Yet none of this made it into the courtroom. She says if the feds really wanted him gone, that evidence alone could have locked him up for life. So why wasn't it used?
Onto multiple properties. And they collected all kinds of things that never made it to that courtroom, did it? Not one mention of a firearm, not one mention, even though some of the testimony said that he carried firearm. The way Kid Cudi's car, the way that whole situation happened, it was on court document. People were sitting there talking about it, and they still trying to act like that never happened. Capricorn clock. Is everybody forgetting her testimony? I'm just trying to figure it out. Oh, it was all Cassie. Cassie was the mastermind, but she was doing it all with his corporate credit card. That means it's his money. But she the mastermind? Come on. And now, because all of that stuff was redacted, and because all of that stuff was kept off the record, and for whatever reason, the feds didn't present a lot of stuff that would have made sure that he was gone forever, rather than just being gone to November. And it's not going to be November. See, that sentencing is coming.
Almost every serious charge against Diddy disappeared, and he ended up with one of the shortest sentences possible. The guideline was 9 years, yet he walked away with 4. This from the same judge who denied him bail 6 times. Now the judge is lecturing him about changing his life. Jaguar says it straight. The whole thing was staged. It was a show, not justice.
It might go until Monday. I was actually kind of surprised that it didn't, considering the show that they put on for the public. They put on such a lovely show.
That was a show.
Wouldn't you say?
That was a show.
It was a video montage.
Oh my God.
You would have thought it was like a retirement ceremony. Or, someone winning an award for, lifetime achievement or something, the way they sat there and the way they carried on and the way, especially when it gets to the point where lawyers are forcing themselves to tears or almost to tears, talking about how inspiring that deviant is.
She also reminds people that Diddy had a long relationship with federal authorities, but even cooperation has limits when 100 people sue you at once. Diddy has already snitched on everyone he could to protect himself. If investigators come knocking again, he has nothing left to bargain with.
I'm saying if you start snitching.
He would have to turn over, at this point in time, he would have to turn over a whole lot. And he's going to do some time because, unlike the public, the judge knows exactly what he did. The judge has seen all of the evidence of everything that was kept out, of everything that was redacted, of everything that wasn't presented.
Right.
Like that's the reason why he's still in there. If it was such a clean sweep and if it was such a neat sweep, he would have been got bombed.
Right. That makes sense.
It's not that, yeah, but see, that's the danger of the media. That's the danger of the media. How many bot farms have been put to task to work the algorithm and to work the thumbnails and the storylines of what's really going on?
Jaguar managed to get access to the case files of Derek Lee Cardella Smith, the only man who ever took Diddy to court for $100 million and actually won. Derek has receipts, literal proof, and now he's teaming up with Jaguar. She says he's done being quiet.
It just disappeared. Do you know what I thought when I heard it myself? I said, oh, it must have not been real. Because there's no way in the world this isn't gonna make it to that trial. You wanna know what's even funnier? Diddy went to that jail to visit Derek his damn self in 2024.
Oh, wow.
Guess what name he was using to go to that jail to visit Derek so nobody would know it was him?
John Smith?
Brother Love.
Oh, shit.
What is clergy?
Damn. This is very wild. What made you?
That's where he went. Just a couple of days before HSI raided all of his properties. What do you mean? What do I think about the powers that be? What you want me to think?
Oh, wait. What made you find this rabbit hole?
And it wasn't just attorneys trying to silence Derek. Jaguar claims that Diddy personally went to the jail where Derek was held and allegedly tried talking to him about the case. To her, that's all the proof needed. Diddy is terrified of what Derek knows.
You wanna know what's funny? While Mark Agnifilo was sitting there making fun of baby oil and doing all of the stuff that he was doing in court and creating all of that nice guy hoopla, trying to get everyone to believe that Diddy is not such a terrible person and now he's a wonderful man and he deserves to go back to Madison Square Garden and he's going to be right there to cheer him on. Do you want to know where else he was? In Wayne County, negotiating with Derek Lee Cordello Smith.
Wow.
His victim.
Wow.
Why would he be in negotiations with him if he actually believed that everything that he said in that courtroom was true?
Sounds like a fixer.
Sounds like a fixer? A fucking liar!
Whoa.
You think I give a shit about that sentencing? Let me regale you. Oh. Wait a minute.
And as you're pulling it up,
Is it your testimony that you have your team of technicians at the crime lab who can and have manipulated evidence to place grapes not only on Derek Lee Cordello Smith, but other men as well, with the end result being they will plead because they have no choice. And they know you will get convictions because the SA victims in those cases are actually victims of Sean Combs and of the actual slavery ring in Michigan. And guess what the witness's response was? So what? Yeah.
this isn't.
Jaguar says Diddy didn't choose Fort Dix just because of the drug program that helps shave time off a sentence. Fort Dix is a low-security camp with barely any real barriers. If Diddy wanted to run, he could. She believes that if the civil suits get too close to the truth, Diddy plans to take off.
The fact that his pockets is just left him. He still got enough to play with.
A lot to play with. I mean,
Yeah, for now. They want him to go to New Jersey. They want him to go to Fort Dix, one of the weakest guarded federal penitentiaries in the United States. I would know. I know Fort Dix. It's a real nice place to take somebody. So when they finally get to go outside out in the yard, they can just get somebody to come and extract them right up out of there. You can leave and you don't have to worry about ever being held accountable. See, I'm not dumb. I ain't nobody's fool. People like being fooled these days. People like being lied to. They want to believe in the land of make-believe. Diddy said sorry, and now we can all go home and have ice cream. Fuck you mean?
He's been locked up for only 2 weeks and already slipped back into old habits. TMZ says prison staff caught Diddy drinking toilet wine, prison hooch. This after crying to the judge about being sober and changed. 2 weeks later, he's back to drinking. This one mistake could stack extra time on his sentence.
Got caught drinking in prison. This comes after Diddy was begging the judge at his sentencing hearing to let him free that day because he said he was a changed man, and this was the first time that he was sober in 25 years. Now, according to TMZ, Diddy has run into some trouble with prison officials after he was caught with homemade alcohol. And in prison, it's usually called hooch, but this homemade alcohol that Diddy was caught with was made of Fanta, apples, and sugar. According to TMZ, the prison officials did want to move Diddy to a new unit after he got caught with this homemade alcohol, but they ended up reversing that decision, and it looks like Diddy is staying in the unit that he is prison. What makes this even worse for Diddy is the fact that he is already ruining his potential shot to get an early release. You know that one of the reasons why Diddy wanted transported to Fort Dix prison is because the programs that they offer. That's because some of the programs that are offered at Fort Dix could give Diddy potentially up to a year off of his sentence. That's only if Diddy could be accepted and finish the program. And one of the things that they will deny you entry into these programs for is messing up and doing things you're not supposed to do. I mean, Diddy hasn't even been at Fort Dix for a full 2 weeks yet, and he's already doing things like this. Honestly, I can't say any of us are surprised. If Diddy is already getting in trouble and he's only been at this prison for 2 weeks, he still has a long...
He said Diddy is airing out dirty laundry for inmates. They said Sean Diddy Combs is being put to work behind bars, and his first federal prison job has him doing an old fluff and fold. That's probably what Diddy was ordering with those escorts. A fluff and fold special. Sources familiar with the situation tell us Diddy's first gig at Fort Dix in New Jersey plants him in the laundry room, washing and drying dirty clothes. Manual labor may come as a shock to Diddy. During his criminal trial, federal prosecutors claimed he couldn't even charge his own phone or fetch a bottle of water and would send his army of personal assistants to basically do everything for him.
Of course, Diddy's team claims none of this happened. His management even used his X account to deny the story in a post that was later deleted. It read, "The rumors claiming Mr. Combs was caught with alcohol are completely false. His only focus is becoming the best version of himself and returning to his family." But deleting it only made the situation look worse.
Combs is setting the record straight about his life behind bars. A report that said the rap mogul, who is serving a 4-year sentence for 2 prostitution-related convictions, was caught drinking homemade alcohol in prison. His spokesperson emphatically denies the allegation, telling People magazine in a statement published November 9th, "There have been several false and reckless reports circulating about Mr. Combs. He has not violated any prison rules. His sobriety and self-discipline are priorities, and he is taking them seriously." The 56-year-old was recently transferred to a low-security correctional facility in New Jersey after spending over a year at the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn. At the new institution, he was alleged to have created a mixture of Fanta, sugar, and apples, which ferments into alcohol after 2 weeks, TMZ reported. The spokesperson continues, "This is only his first week at FCI Fort Dix, and unfortunately, rumors will surface throughout his time there. We ask the public and press to give him the benefit of the doubt, the privacy to focus on his personal growth, and the grace to move forward in peace."
Criminal attorneys weighed in too. They say the harshest part of Diddy's punishment isn't the sentence. It's the fact that once he gets out, he'll have to register as a sex offender. They say that label alone will destroy whatever life he has left. The same freedom that fed his ego and power is now gone for good. One wrong move and he'll go straight back to prison. He just hasn't realized how over his life already is.
Tagged with 2 felonies. He's not free to go about and do what he wants to do. For the next, 89 months or thereabouts, he's going to be under the control of the federal government. And that's no little thing for a guy like this. So here's what supervised release is going to be like for him. It'll be intense at first. They'll drug test him. They'll put monitoring software on his devices. They will, they'll have constant meetings and check-ins and that kind of thing once he gets out of prison. And as time goes on and he demonstrates compliance, the supervision will get less and less intense, probably to the point where he just has to call in once in a while. But if you get too complacent and all of a sudden, you don't register, or all of a sudden, porn's an addiction, right? And, if you're looking at porn all the time, guess what? It's tough to stop that. It just is. And I've known clients that have, violated their conditions over and over again, and they wind up going back to prison. Now, Diddy seems to me like he's got some discipline. He doesn't follow the rules. And, the first violation could be like 18 months. The second violation could be this, or he could be demonstrating such good compliance that he gets off early. Which happens quite often. Okay, well, now that but he still has to register as a sex offender. He still has to do all these different things. Even after he's off of supervised release, he'll still have to register. And if he goes to Miami, because his home's in New York, he's got to check in with the local sheriff and say, hey, sex offender in town. That's what he got to do. I mean, this is not an easy thing for him to have to deal with down the road. But is it life in prison? No, it's not. Is it 20 years in prison? No, it's not. Is it even 10 years? No, it's not. But it's still going to be something he has to deal with. So it's no little thing that he is part of this community of people that have to be supervised, and he gave the government a big foray into controlling his life. And that's what happens when you decide to break the...
And if that wasn't enough, his safety is on the line. Money means nothing inside when someone is known for hurting a woman. Inmates do not tolerate that. Jaguar says Diddy was nearly attacked a few weeks ago, allegedly waking up with a blade at his throat before a CO stepped in. He knows exactly how thin the ice is beneath him.
Diddy, obviously just starting out his time, well, not just starting out, but starting out his official sentence since being sentenced not too long ago. And I think suffice to say, it's not going well so far.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. I mean, he's got 4 years and change that he's going to ultimately have to serve, although he has served already a year as he awaited his trial and then went through his trial. So ultimately probably he was going to serve about 2.5 years or so, but it's still serious time that he's going to have to serve. And he has already, at least if you listen to people close to Diddy, been the victim of violence behind bars. So there was an incident that we first learned about 2 weeks ago during Diddy's sentencing hearing, and he said, I was sleeping in my bed in the prison. It's a federal detention facility in Brooklyn called MDC Brooklyn, and there are federal inmates who are in many cases waiting for their trial as well. And Diddy claimed that somebody held a knife to his throat. He woke up and this guy basically had him, and he had the knife, and Diddy was at this person's mercy. Now, it's unclear what exactly happened from there. Was there a guard that came in? Did Diddy somehow fight this person off? So it seems unlikely that happened. Or did the person just leave? Bottom line, this guy, at least according to people close to Diddy and Diddy himself, could have hurt him badly or even taken his life. And I think that was something they wanted known during the hearing because they wanted the judge to take some pity on Diddy. It probably didn't help ultimately because he does get the 4+ year sentence. But again, this just is something that is the reality of life for Diddy right now. It's a guy who's worth hundreds of millions of dollars who is now living in a prison cell and will be at least again for the next 2.5 years.
Through all of this, Jaguar refuses to back down. She and Derek Lee Cardella Smith are preparing to be Diddy's worst nightmare. They have documents, evidence, and lawsuits lined up, and this time, Diddy's fame and fortune won't protect him. Every move he makes is under a microscope. Every secret is one leak away from going public. Every escape attempt could blow up in his face.
Needs to be someone here who's been here all along. I've been waiting for this moment for 5 years, and here we are. And I'm praying that everyone remembers there are survivors, real life survivors. And I hope that everyone takes into account how necessary a true verdict, a just verdict now. 25 years of pain, 25 years of hurt. And I'm praying that God's just going to do what he told me he's going to do. So I hope we're all just staying in vigilant prayer for everyone on all sides of this. These are human issues, and we need to have real human response and emotion.
Do you plan to be here every day? I mean, during this trial, we're expected to hear from you.
I'm going to be around.
Have you spoken with anyone who might be possibly testifying, or have you spoken with anybody?
That I cannot say. But what I will say is my prayers for Al B. Shore are being answered day by day. From the moment that we found out he flatlined to the moment we found out he came back. I'm here vigilant for that. Justice for Kim Porter.
Jaguar says federal agents may have fumbled things before, but with over 100 lawsuits waiting to be heard, Diddy's days of dodging consequences are coming to an end. She isn't slowing down. Derek Lee Cardella Smith is ready to strike, and this story is far from finished. The next chapter is only beginning. If you're following this wild story and want every new update the moment it drops, make sure you hit subscribe, tap the bell, and stay locked in with Taylor Tells All, where the truth never stays buried.